Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duskmos, and today I'm here with the Erica Synths Acidbox III. Let's check it out. Okay, so the Acidbox III is a stereo filter first and foremost, but it's a little bit more than meets the eye because it's got a very hands-on LFO for modulation right on board. And that consists of more than just a wave selection, which there are plenty. There's also a multiplier and divider, depth controls, and then on top of that there's an envelope follower that will react based on the input signal and kind of play with what you're feeding the Acidbox. There's also a tap tempo, bandpass, or a low pass mode, so you can switch the filtering type, and this in level, which if you crank it up enough will give you some nice drive and saturation, but it also just helps with low level signals. But it really adds some overdriven character, which can be boosted even more if you're using a mono source, because as you can see on top here, there's this gain L, which is the left input gain on a knob on the back that allows you to boost the left input even more. And that's originally designed so you can use this with guitar if you wanted to and bring it up to, line level volume. But I tried it on a drum machine just going into that one input, and the thing can just distort like crazy and real gnarly and really cool sounding, which I won't be doing today in this demo, but I will do that in a future episode, so come back for that. But today I just kind of want to show off the filter and obviously the LFO, and just give an overview of how this thing works and how it sounds. So as always, I like to start with my clean pattern, which I'm using the model cycles for over here, going in stereo, coming out stereo into the TX6 from Teenage Engineering, and then going out into the camera. When I was setting this up, I was enjoying using some of the TX6 reverb after the Acidbox, as well as the tape ping pong mode, and I might do a little of that, but like I said, as long as I remember, because I might get into this and not. Okay, so my clean pattern sounds like this. That noise is from the synth sound here. That's our clean pattern. We'll go ahead and start here. One thing to note is, even when this is bypassed, the in level still controls what you hear, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we'll go ahead and engage. Right now I don't have any modulation going on because I got the mod level down. It's got the big cutoff knob here. Resonance is down all the way. You can turn that up a little bit. Do another sweep. Definitely hear that Q. Up it even more. Add in the kick drum. You really hear that emphasis on the cutoff point, which that's what resonance is. And you really hear it boosting that kick about right here. You can really get some of the drive going if you have the cutoff pretty low, and then just really drive the input. Definitely have to be careful though, because as you open it up, it's going to get louder and louder. But you can definitely get some crunch going. But we'll back that off for now. You can do some extreme resonance stuff. Can get pretty intense, so obviously you have to watch what you're doing there, but that's every filter, of course. Okay, we're going to switch it to bandpass. And so you get that whole frequency range band moves up and down. You can kind of trim off highs and lows if you're in the middle, or just a range of low to mid, or, you know, high to mid, however you set it. We'll go back to low pass. Okay, now introduce some LFO. So we have to turn up the mod level to even hear any of that. And we've got a rate right here. Clearly you can see the rate reflected by the LED there. You can get those really fast rates. Now you can also use this divider multiplier to really go into that sort of audio rate level. Pretty cool. And it's cool, this is a free range knob, so it doesn't click into place, but when you go between values, it hits that range and just jumps, which I actually don't mind. Sometimes the clicky knobs have too much resistance and you, like, I don't know, you end up like moving the pedal instead of twisting the knob, so. You can also go into divisions. Divided by 2, divided by 3, divided by 4. You've got a depth, so you can control how much that cutoff range moves. It's kind of like just like the range of motion, kind of. Does that make sense? You can do some really experimental, crazy stuff. And then of course you can back off the mod level. You just kind of want to, you know, blend in what this is doing. Bring it back down to a normal level. Turn down that track. It's not as in our faces here. Okay. Okay. Now, so you can hear this rate, you know, being free range isn't aligned with what we've got going on over here. So there's a tab tempo, which helps you sync things up. So let's try that out. So there we go. And then now you can really use this multiplier synced with what you've got going on. So you can divide by 2, divide by 3 for some interest, 4, multiply up, and back off the depth a little bit, and increase the resonance. Okay, now we'll mess with the envelope follower. So we've got a rate here. You can see where this light is hitting on the kick. So this is really basically like reading the tempo based off of the signal getting fed to it instead of being, you know, manually controlled here or here. So we set that all the way down, and then we can change the depth based on the envelope. There we go. Actually, this envelope, or the LFO, was interacting because I had the depth of it up so high. So here we go. So now you really hear this reacting to that kick. Each time the kick hits, you hear it kind of doing that. When you up the resonance, you can really hear it. And it's because I have the depth in the plus range. So basically it's like every time the kick hits, it's opening up the filter. We go to 0 and there's really no effect. You go to negative and it's dipping the cutoff. So there you go. So you up it and you hear it kind of duck down every time the kick hits. And again, the mod level reacts with that as well. So and you really hear it with the resonance up. But it's cool, you get some sort of live interactivity. You can get both going at the same time, as we already found out, which is cool. And again, tap tempo if you want. Now you see that the light for the envelope follower is reacting a little differently now because, well, the kick is gone, and so that signal going in isn't really like triggering that envelope. In the same way. I mean, it still is, but you can see it's just like a gentle flicker there. And then now we're back with it reading the kick. As you see, as I pump up the level of the kick, you can see the light is brighter or dimmer as I lower the level. So it's really reacting to that. Okay, say I want to leave it where we are here. We'll check out some of the other waves. So we've had the sine on this whole time. You can do these sort of like angled tooth kind of waves. Let's bring the rate down. And we'll cut off the envelope follower as well. Envelope, keep switching. You can hear with this rate kind of opens and then immediate cut. This is going to be the opposite when we go to the next one. Sort of like kind of cuts and then fades down. Really emphasize these effects when you really max up the depth and the mod level. We got a square wave to get that really cool sort of chop effect. Add in some envelope follower. Do that in the positive direction. And like if I bypass this, you know, definitely a lot less going on. So this is cool. It's just like, especially when you stack the two. All right, let's go to this sort of ADSR up sort of wave. So yeah, nuke the envelope follower. Opposite. Really a lot of movement. And again, if it's too much, then you can back off. And you just get some of that subtle change. And then we go to random. And this one's a lot of fun because you can do some unruly things. Especially with the resonance up high. Either kind of sample and hold effect. Very creative. Very wild. And again, I'm running a whole mix to this, which you probably wouldn't, likely do, except for maybe just if you want to bypass some of the modulation stuff and just use this as a really nice filter, which you absolutely can do. So it's cool if you want to use it for very, weird things or lots of movement on a single instrument, or, bypass all that. No follower, no mod, and just have a really nice, sweepable, big knob filter. And again, we go to bandpass. You can do some more LFO business. Envelope follower. Really jump around the frequency band. Just crazy. And one thing I really like LFOs usually for is a really slow moving LFO, because you get that sort of long tail, not long tail, but just a slow rise and slow fall. So you can really bring the rate down and then divide by 4, and you can see based on the light here really how long that sweep takes. And that's really cool. I feel like some things that have LFOs don't have rates that go as slow as this or as fast, so this covers a nice range, because something like this I think really works on maybe some like chords and background of something. Resonance is a little high, so it's doing some things there. All right, I'll let this do its thing. Now, turn on the reverb here on the TX6. I'm just gonna freestyle a little bit. Got the ping pong, but I have it set to a tempo. Let's see what my tempo is here. Yeah, 40. So with the low tempo on this, you can do the ping pong mode where it expects the tempo to be 40. So the part that it grabs and ping pongs is longer than it would be if the tempo was matching this tempo. If it's 120, it's just like a little blip, 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 blip. What's kind of cool too is when you do that, you're freezing the input. So you can hear how open this filter is. And I'm freezing it at that state, but when I release it, the filter's still pretty open. I'll wait for the light to dim. Yeah. I don't know. You can play off of that. Change up the wave here. And the rate. Came in hefty. You get kind of like a wah thing happening here. Well, there we go. That is the Acidbox 3 from Erica Synths. A little bit of fun there at the end doing some jamming. But yeah, that's the beauty of this, I think. A lot of hands-on control, really fun, and it's just nice having an outboard stereo filter. So, you know, if you have something that you're running and the filter's in a menu somewhere, you don't have that immediate control. It's really cool having that option right there at your fingertips, literally. Like I mentioned, the divide and multiply, just the rate going as low and slow or as fast as this does is really nice. And then you get the added bonus of the saturation, distortion modes. And yeah, I think this is a really flexible box. It's been out for years now. This is just my first time getting my hands on one, and I really like it. All right, well, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.